Biden. I mean, he's heading for the left's looking like they're in trouble, man. Got to put a beanie on.
I was just gonna say that you need the beanie.
Yeah, I need the beanie.
You should shave a bald spot and then put the beanie on.
I need that.
And that's how chicks think. They go, we're a nation of immigrants. We should let more people in. We should spend more. Children are our greatest asset. We should spend more on education. Okay, how much are we spending on education? How many immigrants are there? Like, the numbers matter, ladies. And that includes you, Tim. So he goes, they have Soros. We have Peter Thiel. Both sides have millionaires. Oh, okay. So that's the end of the discussion. Because some people have money and other people have money. Ergo, there's no left-wing bias. There's no massive influence with donors in politics. Dude, the Koch brothers are irrelevant. Peter Thiel doesn't influence elections. Barely. They influence elections. They have the media. So what you do as a journalist, just like the rats, man, is you go look it up. Like, it's okay to sit there and pontificate with your beanie on if you're Pat Buchanan. Because the guy, for example, for the book, The Unnecessary War about World War II, he read something like 70 books just to do research for that book, which is like a fucking compendium of incredible information. So some old geezer like that can sit there and just shoot the shit to me. And Coulter can. Christopher Hitchens could. But when you're a little kid, I don't care about your fucking opinion. You have to look it up, do the work. That's what journalists do. They knock on doors. They make phone calls. So Jim Goad is the opposite of this. And he does his research. And he's done
Goad
on
is
this concept of our side influencing elections.
not a
media,
good
just like theirs does. And it's not even.
not
For
a
example, here's
good
an old article he did in 2011. But the Koch
person
brothers
to
getting
hold
Scott
up in
Walker.
high regard.
They're being blamed for buying the recent Wisconsin governor's election. He's talking about the Koch brothers. Although, if you were suddenly compelled to do something insane, such as look at the actual numbers, I'm underlining my own notes, which go in the garbage immediately after the show. You'd find 3 unions who each kicked down more cash to the Democratic candidate than the Kochs gave to Scott Walker. You might even learn that all Wisconsin unions and public workers welded together their angry, oppressed fists to outspend the Kochs by a factor of at least 20-1. This is not an unusual case. And that as a quotient of total Republican donations, the Koch's contribution to Scott Walker's campaign amounted to less than 0.5%. And then he did a much more extensive article many years later, that's 1/4, where if you want to follow the money, you got to turn left. Oh, this is the same year. Despite a 2006 study of Fortune 500 companies that showed America's wealthiest 100 corporations donated $59 million to leftist causes and a paltry $4 million to the political right. 4 to 59 isn't just some are like this and some are like that. That's how you talk when you're a teenager. Yeah, there's Antifa, but there's also the KKK. Remember that dude at the bar? He's a fucking teacher in the Bronx, charter schools, so it's pretty easy because everyone there is determined to win. And I go, they have goons showing up at these rallies, these Antifa goons, attacking their political opponents. They just did it recently, attacking Rand Paul on his way back from a GOP convention, talk. And he goes, well, the left has that too. They have got their goons. I assume he's going to say Proud Boys, and I go, oh, really, who? And he goes, the KKK.
What the hell are you talking about?
The KKK goes to DNC rallies with their giant burning torches and their horses, and they intimidate. What the fuck?
Sometimes the complaints will be false.
His lips looked out of sync.
Sometimes the complaints will be false.
Hey, yo, man, you trying to rip us off?
Is that just maybe my monitor?
Maybe. Seems a little stuttery.
Despite a 2006 study of Fortune 500, wait, did I already read this yet? Yeah, 59 million to leftist causes. So Kevin Williamson, over at National Review, who I'm not a fan of, he's a never-Trumper, he shits on Proud Boys and all kinds of stuff, and I've met him a couple of times. His breath could melt molten steel. It could turn steel into molten lava.
It could turn molten steel into regular steel.
It could make molten steel be more molten. It could burn molten steel.
It
could
evaporates.
It could turn molten steel to steam. What's that called? Sublimation? It could sublimate molten lava. Oof. By the way, that's one of the good things about these masks. You realize if you have bad breath, and I'm one of them. I was walking the other day going, someone here has really bad breath, and it's making me barf.
Who's been farting since I put this on?
Did someone fart in my mask? So I've been using Listerine now. And I got laid twice in the week, which for a married man with 3 kids is like being at a fucking crystal
They're both alive at least. They're not dead.
All right, so Kevin says, he sums it up. Why? Because he goes more than just the fact that there's donations from billionaires like Soros. He gets into the actual donations from corporations and why are corporations so woke. And he explains that though there's a few left-wing companies like Ben & Jerry's, even right-wing companies, seemingly right-wing companies, are woke. Why? Well, for one thing, conservatives are cheap dates. You do not have to convince the readers of National Review or Republicans in Valparaiso that American business is in general a force for good in the world. But if you are, e.g., Exxon, you might feel the need to convince certain people, young and idealistic and maybe a little stupid, in spite of their expensive educations, that you are not so bad after all, and that you are spending mucho schmundo turning algae into biofuel, in the words of an Exxon advertisement, and combating malaria and doing other nice things. All of that is true, and Exxon makes sure you people know it. The professional activists may sneer and scoff, but they are not the audience. This is all me correcting Tim Pool's rant, by the way.
Wait, what?
Explains that though there's a few left-wing companies like Ben & Jerry's, even right-wing companies, seemingly right-wing companies, are woke. Why? Well, for one thing,
that's a good point.
Are cheap dates. You do not have to convince the readers of National Review or Republicans in Valparaiso that American business is in general a force for good in the world. But if you are, e.g., Exxon, you might feel the need to convince certain people, young and idealistic and maybe a little stupid, in spite of their expensive educations, that you are not so bad after all, and that you are spending mucho schmundo turning algae into biofuel, in the words of an Exxon advertisement, and combating malaria and doing other nice things. All of that is true, and Exxon makes sure you people know it. The professional activists may sneer and scoff, but they are not the audience. This is all me correcting Tim Pool's rant, by the way. 1-6. A recent Capital Research Center analysis of charitable donations showed that donations by the left to Fortune 500 foundations totaled $59 million, compared to $4 million to the right. These are Fortune 500 foundations. Very difficult foundations, not corporations.
They're up to no good.
Again, we're seeing the same kind of ratio we saw before, right? So the donations to these woke foundations is 59 million left, 4 million right. And before, the numbers were very similar, right? They were, come on, Gav. It was 20 to 1 with the unions and the Koch brothers. Oh, and then with the, oh, it's the same stat I'm reading.
Yeah, that sounded familiar.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry. It's like we're seeing a pattern here as I repeat the same stat twice. Noticing this number comes up every time I repeat that number?
1 out of 1 times. The truth.
Look at all the different people that are doing this. Why? There's the Koch brothers, Soros. There's Soros and the Koch brothers. And then finally, of course, as we know, the left owns the media. So it's not 6 and 1/2 a dozen of the other. Just 7% of journalists are Republicans. Holy shit.
That's a beating.
Also on yesterday's show,
7%.
we had Jessica Krug, who is a white woman that I would have dated back in high school, kind of a quirky Jew, and she became I think she went black first, and then they go, wow, are you an albino? And she's like, oh, yeah, I know I look white. That's because I'm Hispanic, Afro-Hispanic, and that throws in the whole Caribbean slave trade, Aztecs. It gets pretty ambiguous there. I'm sure there was even some Jews. So
Locust
it gave her a
pepperoni
better hiding
pizza.
spot. So then she was like from the Bronx,
Ugh.
but she's from Kansas, suburban white Kansas. So then she had the thing about her accent is it goes from like fucking Cardi B and shit to just a normal accent as she focuses more on her point. But in that footage we showed yesterday, 1-8, we didn't show the very beginning, where her accent is even thicker.
Wait, I gotta.
Wait, was that 1-8 you're looking at now?
Yeah, I could get the original.
It's when she talks about indigenous New Yorkers. and
I'm just a bombalera.
Yeah, there we go.
I'm just a bombalera. I'm here in El Barrio.
Wait, just a.
Now, I'm not a Puerto Rican like you. Dude, does anyone say the barrio?
No, but
That's like a 70s Puerto Rican thing to call the suburbs.
you can say Jessica if you're Puerto Rican. She just so like Jessica.
No. She calls herself, it's a new name, Jess La Bombera.
Yeah.
I think Bombera is a firefighter.
Oh, okay.
So she's giving herself a cool name.
I'm just a bombalera. I'm here in El Barrio, East Harlem. You probably know this neighborhood because the Hosanna Melissa Mark Viverito, who used to be the speaker of your city council, sold my fucking neighborhood to developers and gentrifiers. So I got a couple of things to say, and when y'all
Go
come
back,
on,
I need to hear that. From the barrio?
I'm just a bombalera. I'm here in El Barrio, East Harlem.
That's how.
Looking for something special. A brain dance to really.
You mean smut?
Nah, more hardcore.
I'll find it here. But there's a guy on Jig Jig Street has a whole lot of peculiar flicks. And I mean peculiar.
Looking for
You mean smut?
nah, more.
I'll find it here. But there's a guy on Jig Jig Street has a whole lot of peculiar flicks.
Got something that'll keep you hard.
What have you got?
Virtues?
Any special kind?
Well, let me put it to you this way. Those who know don't need to ask.
We have that one. I think I've even been here a lot of this place.
Looking for BDs.
Particular? You a badge?
Give me the best of the best. The ones with the death's head.
Didn't know I was dealing with a connoisseur. Death's head'll cost you though.
How about a discount for your newest customer?
Only give regulars discounts. If you're short, then fuck off.
Got anything that might interest me?
$1,000. $150 each. Oh, shit. Well.
Pleasure doing biz with you.
Jesus. Okay. No.
I know! It's awesome, right? Let's watch the first dance. Yeah? Here looks a little basic, but it works.
Here, baby, what's the rush?
You probably know
Is
this
Harlem?
neighborhood
That's insulting.
because
Is
the
Harlem?
Hosanna
What
Elizabeth
accent is that now?
I'm offended.
She's kind of going black.
Where's your cute
who
little
used to be the speaker of your city council, sold my fucking neighborhood to developers and gentrifiers. So I got a couple of things to say, and when y'all
Yeah,
come
and then
on
she
and
goes white.
tell me my time
From
is
the
done.
barrio?
That is very embarrassing. And it's insulting that she thinks that Puerto Ricans couldn't just not curse that much in a meeting. He tells them like, fuck out of here with that shit.
Yeah, I know. When Cardi B spoke to Joe Biden, she managed to keep
Yeah.
it clean. Although she's Dominican, right? You got your own Jessica Krug research?
Oh
So
yeah.
didn't you say a guy was her student and she kept shitting on him for being a piece of white shit?
Yeah, he wrote a whole article about how he's half black, but she was like, how many protests have you been to? And he's like, none. And then
You
she was
ain't
like,
black
I'm
enough.
blacker than you. And he like Bob Dylan, he's like, well, he talked about protesting and uprising and stuff like that. She's like, nah, he's
Let me get everything prepped. You make sure the wreath's snug on you. You'll watch while I edit and do it to your one too.
Ready when you are.
I want you to describe what you see. My catch from there, I guess.
Oh shit. Who are those people? What the fuck was that?
V, editing mode's good to go. Stick around all you want.
Hmm.
Scav, gotta be. No one else with that kind of fashion sense.
Don't see anything?
Poor
Nothing
fucker.
useful or important? Try switching layers.
Hmm.
Radio's still way up. I'll leave it drown out the screen. Heard shit like that before. Sounds like scabs to me. Ordered recently.
That's the same shit, same shit. Settlers alive, multiple errors, critical components missing, scavenge for. Who is this? Why is she not scanning?
Synth got aroma. Cheap shit. Cold too. Bucket slice. Ordinary box. Decker, Tanaka, Rogers logo. Standard for a trashy. Coffee was cold. Like the day before. It looked fresh though.
So?
Means someone's grabbing bucket slice regularly. Which is not something someone does for the flavor and fresh ingredients. Pizza shares its DNA with styrofoam. Nobody's gonna slap across town for it. Scavenging. Who knew that side scavengers love to scrolling XBDs?
Wait, who's this?
Electric Corp patch in the coveralls. Okay. We're looking for an electric Corp power plant located near a bucket slice.
EC used to have a big old complex in Charter Hill. Bucket Slice checks out too. How can you be sure?
Hmm.
Here we go. Old electric Corp power plant in Charter Hill. Gotta make do with this for now. Nothing else to garner from the scroll. No time to lose. We gotta go there.
Definitely. Ride with me?
get going.
On our way. I need those flowers. That's it.
Still can't shake it. That virtue sample we saw with the death's head moth. All they scroll is snuff, then
Stop it. They'd have to be utter gongs to waste her on something like that.
what do you mean?
We're talking about a girl who's not only a natural at what she does, but also has got a doll's implant. I mean, that's not a package you find lying out in the street.
Not very optimistic. Underwater where thoughts can breathe easy.
He's white and stuff. And you gotta listen to Migos and some other thing. It's a great article. Is it?
Well, put it up.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, actually, funny stories, true stories. My dad impression.
Nothing wrong with that.
The guy that recognized us on the street that one time, I don't know if you remember, it was a while ago, but there was a couple. He's kept in touch and he sent me this. So he's still watching the show. Yeah, he wrote this article here. Counter magazine or something. Jessica Krug, the fake black professor, once questioned my blackness.
Look at her. Go back up. Let me see her.
Fake black professor.
The nose?
She's putting it all on her nose?
Yeah.
All her money's on her nose. Because we've seen black straightened hair, and it's never that sort of full.
Look at the hoop earrings, too.
Like, to make an afro go straight, you gotta fucking fry it to shit. So then it's just like, psst, like singed to shreds. It never has that sort of curly Jewish body to it.
Mm-hmm. Look at the hoop earrings are insulting,
The
too.
hoop earrings are hula hoop earrings. In 2016, Dylan did not deserve the prize. I posted a comment disagreeing with him. Telling Dylan's out of the blue, I was verbally attacked by someone with a peculiar Facebook name, Jess La Bombalera, who we just heard from. She claimed that Dylan was an old, irrelevant white man who had nothing to do with the modern-day protests in the streets. She told me that the kids protesting in the streets weren't playing Dylan, but Future and Migos, who were more relevant to the protest. Don't Migos just sing about, like, Taco Tuesday and shit?
And dicks, yeah.
Yeah.
My dick, my
Migos
car,
just
my gun.
sing about their dicks, eating tacos, fucking chicks, and getting high.
Yep.
That's more the streets, yo.
There's a couple of other notable things in here, like Jess Levin Barrett took this opportunity to attack me personally. I wasn't a real revolutionary person of color. He said that his dad was from Jamaica and his mom was an anti-apartheid activist from South Africa. She then attributed my respect for Dylan to my whiteness and questioned my white mother's motives fighting apartheid. And, like, that's not even good
awesome.
enough.
Isn't
Yeah.
that awesome? That sums up so much of this shit. It's always deflection. Every time they're accusing you of something, it's because they do it. So she's
her
sitting there
motives?
doing exactly what she's accusing that man's mother of doing, which is just showboating for virtue signaling. Wait, what was that Twitter thing you had up? A montage of her?
Oh, it's just a little clip of her being very white.
Politics of New York City has done for many, many years.
Aren't you from the
But the part
barrio?
of the story that gets emphasized in different ways is that he was an explorer, right? Which is a program that the NYPD has to bring youth in to eventually work for them. And so when I think about this politics of silence that I'm talking about in the archives, right, and how silence can be a really radical presence historically, I think it's a radical presence today. When people talk about snitches get stitches, right, or when we think about a history of anti-apartheid struggle in South Africa and necklacing, right, and that kind of violence towards people who are collaborating.
There's a lot to unpack here. So she's talking about the Trinitarios who murdered that kid in a bodega, and she's saying they murdered him because he's a snitch and that's their culture, and they have to do that. That's how they maintain order, like a gang. First of all, that's not a good thing. Like the mob and bikers and MS-13 murdering what you call snitches and informants. That's not a defense. But minor detail, bitch. He wasn't a snitch. He was a nice kid who eventually wanted to become a cop, so he was in their rookie program, where you go and you do volunteer thing. The military's equivalent is the cadets, where you go and you shine your boots and you do little drills, and it's basically playing army man. They was
Oh
playing
my
cop.
god.
Nothing to do with the Trinitarios. That kid was murdered, you lazy bitch, because they thought he fucked a Trinitario's girlfriend and filmed it. But he looked like the guy who did that. He didn't do that. So it had fuck all to do with snitching and everything to do with killing the wrong guy for some bullshit jealous rumor. Secondly, the necklacing was done by Winnie Mandela, wife of terrorist Nelson Mandela, to terrorize locals, various tribes in South Africa, and accrue more power. It had fuck all to do with snitching. Who are they snitching to? Winnie Mandela was the powers that be. She was the gangster. She was the El Chapo of South Africa. She was not she was necklacing her enemies. Anyone who disparaged her, she was a fucking fascist. She was a Nazi terrorist cunt. You know what necklacing is, right?
Mm-hmm. You told me not to Google it.
You put it, don't Google it, please don't Google it. You take an empty tire, car tire, put it around your enemy's neck, fill it with gas, light the gas on fire, you tie them up so they can't get it off, and then the hot tar melts, hot rubber, I mean, melts all over you and you die of third-degree burns.
Who are working against their communities, we have to consider a radical moment in 2018 in which people are using machetes to hack apart a 15-year-old boy who's working with the police.
Whoa. God.
Did she just say it's a necessary evil to make
Yeah.
communities
Yeah,
stand
Tim.
up? Shit.
Because
This
he's
is
working
where's
against
the equivalent
community
of
because he's
this
trying
on
to
the
be a
right?
police
But
officer,
you
which is
just guessed
oppressive.
that.
Yeah. There was
He's
not
not
the
an
motive.
informant.
Right.
It's like Paw Patrol.
Yeah.
Kind of violence towards people who are collaborating or who are working against their communities. We have to consider a radical moment in 2018 in which people are using machetes to hack apart a 15-year-old boy who's working with the police. The way the story about his innocence and the inherent violence of the people who hacked him apart become the narrative we tell. About how the loss of innocence is the story we mourn. And it's so much more difficult to understand what kind of freedom
Why did you look it up?
could we achieve by being willing to confront those within the community who are working against the interests of the community as a whole at the end of the show.
Yep, hack the
So I will
snitches.
end there. Thank you for listening.
What a absolute sociopath.
I heard an applause starting right at the end of that clip. That's terrifying.
You know what
I
I
will
always
end
want to
there.
see
Thank
with
you
these
for
things?
listening.
Let's see the person you're talking about. Let's see his family. That's a great point, Jessica, about how they had to hack him to death because he was working with police. Can you just say that in front of his mother, please, and his family? Or you know, when they call John Kinsman's wife, they go, he's a Nazi, he's in a hate group. Really? His wife and kids are black. Yeah, she's a bedwench. Okay. Can you say it in front of her? She's right over there. Can you tell her that she's just a slave, a fuck bag for John? She's a bedwench. She's human garbage. Can you just... Also, you may want to say it in front of the kids, too. Say it to her, but her kids will be next to her. Can you do that? Or the Central Park 5, which Ann Coulter watches MSNBC like nonstop, and I hadn't seen it before. I don't really watch it. And they had a big interview with one of the Central Park 5. You know what they called him? One of the exonerated 5. Okay. Well, while you're talking to the exonerated 5, can you bring out the woman who's still alive from the Central Park 5 who had to rebuild her brain? And she goes on tours with neurosurgeons where she discusses how the brain can slowly repair itself and how there is hope. There she is. She was raped literally within an inch of her life. She was raped and beaten so severely that the police just started investigating a homicide. When they saw the buckets of blood around her, they went, oh, well, she's dead. So let's find out who killed her.
Oh.
And then she starts gurgling blood. What the fuck?
We're
So
in the
can
right
Can we
spot.
have her on with the exonerated 5, please?
Kinda,
nobody snitched, they wouldn't have been in
unfortunately.
trouble in the first
Jesus,
place.
what is this?
To be fair.
Do I even want to know?
Yeah.
They snitched.
They're just trying to help their community. How are we doing for time? How long have we been chatting for?
We did a hand signal.
I've got some random shit here. Did you know there's Coke merchandise?
So there's
yeah,
a
of
bunch
course,
of
like
Coke
cameras.
is a, no.
Oh.
Shit for doing Coke.
Oh.
Now they pretend it's for snuff, but like, cocaine is a vice, and I never got like people who buy a carton of cigarettes, they're committing to I'm going to be smoking for a long time. That's why whenever I buy a bottle of Makers, I get the little one because I'm like I'm probably going to be slowing down a bit. Now if I was economical, I'd buy that fucking gigantic Thor hammer. But let me see it. Why aren't you showing it?
There's a
So,
computer. Probably.
They're selling two things. One is like a credit card.
Probably
right,
should be
that
able
you
to
use to cut
switch
up
off
your
all the
Coke,
cameras from
But
here.
that also has a little bump stick on it. Go back.
Oh god.
You see the little
Oh,
thing that
that's
protrudes?
Perfect.
Those
Yeah,
two,
it's
that's
going
two
for
things you can
bars.
do bumps off of.
Does not belong
Is that
to.
a line? That divot right there? That little,
Oh yeah.
you know, that you could put a little line in there?
What is this?
So you have
Furnace.
two cards. One card puts the Coke in there. So there's two ways to do Coke, according to these guys. You can do little toots magoots, or you can do lines. But they also have trays. Look at this. Here's a nice tray, and you can cut out your lines. It lights up, so you can see your lines perfectly. Dude, you're really committing to this vice.
The fusion board.
Yeah, like you're basically saying, I'm going to be doing Coke for 10 years. There's a nice black one. How do you explain that when your kids find that? Dad, what's this glow-in-the-dark line box with the wonky credit cards? Here, pull out a bit. Look at the black
Oh, the
one.
keys.
Oh, they have plastic keys, because
Oh, you know.
you keep losing your keys when you use your own keys, right? But there's a cool black one. Keep going down a black board. No? It's like a black cocaine board. Well, I guess the one you see there, wait, the one shining on the left
Turning
next to
left.
the blue one.
This big.
Yeah, I guess that might be like dark
Can
black.
turn off the
Yeah,
furnace.
it seems to be pretty big too.
Okay,
here it
two
goes
more
next to his
cameras.
hand.
Come on,
It's a lot
Evelyn,
of
be
coke.
here.
Yeah, that's serious biz.
Also in the news,
I definitely don't want one of those.
I saw the movie. Oh, my
There's
kids
a
made me watch
window.
Bill and Ted.
Oh, cool. How was it?
Industrial
Sucks
shutters.
so much shit.
Man.
Oh my god, the acting. It's about Bill and Ted's daughters. And
Yeah.
guess how Bill's daughter walks around, dude? Totally, man. Ugh. It's politically correct. It's all about chicks being empowered. And again, every time they empower chicks, they make them into dudes. So now these girls are just like fucking dudes, man.
Here's a real idea for you. Be role models to your daughters. Get
Crow.
real jobs.
Wanted.
Spent our whole life trying to unite the world, and I'm tired, dude.
Ted, we have a
Yeah,
destiny.
you're tired of this acting career.
I love
Kristen
Bill and Ted.
Shaw is so shockingly hideous. I mean, I commend. Isn't it proof that we live in a
I
feminist
could-
society? When they're about to show her. When
She's not
someone
here.
like that can have a career, you're welcome. You're a movie star and you're a two.
When your wife suggested couples
Is that her?
therapy, do you
No,
think
she's
this is
awesome,
what
though.
they
She's
had
funny.
in mind?
Remember in that what's it called? Sky Street, Hijack Street, 21 Jump Street. In the sequel,
Oh, it's
she's-
close
what's his name is
scavengers.
chasing her,
Okay, okay.
and she,
And there's a
'cause she's a
spider
bad
on
guy,
top.
and she keeps stopping, going, "Are we doing this? Are we fucking?" He's like, "What? No, I'm arresting you." And then she keeps running.
She is very funny. She
It's
was
one of the funniest scenes in a movie I've ever seen.
Should I find it? Let me find it. Yeah, see if we can find it. Is it 21?
It's such a random thing to do in a chase scene. All of a sudden, have one woman say, "Are we doing this?" It's like, "What? No!" Probably have to find her name.
Yeah.
And while you do that, I'd like to take a side note here to talk about this obsession we have with women being part of the story. Women aren't in enough of our stories.
Rat, crow, crow,
So let's do Bill and Ted, but make women in it.
spider.
Women are not
It's not a named
story
guy.
types.
It's just a
Like,
guy.
you know why there's not a female Paul Revere? Because the females in Paul Revere's life were making him with their vaginas, right? Raising him, shaping him, helping him be brave, providing him with the security to become a successful soldier and brave man, being there for the father as he helps. So the problem with you saying that women have to be in all stories implies that stories are the be-all and end-all. I went to some dumb feminist seminar for a lark a few years ago, and they were talking about how women are only in like 4% of action movies. Yeah, they're in about 4% of fights in the world. That's not their bag. And it trivializes what their real role is, which is creating the men in these stories and shaping their lives, shaping their homes, providing the foundation. It's like, why are we always talking about humans and God isn't in any stories? God is in 3% of movies. He's the one who created the universe. And you go, yeah, it's because he created the universe. It's kind of a given. It's like God at the top. Gotcha. Then we're down here doing a little silly stories. Pew, 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 pew. So it's fucking lame. What are you looking at?
Actually, isn't it? It says chase scene, and it.
I think
found
it's at
it
the
by
end of the movie.
I found it by searching her, but no.
It might be it. I remember they're going through the dorms. This looks like a car scene.
Yep.
Yeah,
Her name is Jillian Bell. Jillian Bell.
Women tend not to be funny, but some of my favorite funny people are women. Women don't tend to be good writers, but some of my favorite writers are women. It's called counterintuitive thinking. Okay, let's give up on that. You're never going to find it. Yeah. Plus, it's kind of X-rated, so it's not going to be on YouTube. Are we doing this now? Are we fucking? But don't watch Bill and Ted's. It reeks.
Oh man, I have to.
A century ago, losing a limb meant tragedy. It meant living with permanent disability, with severely reduced physical capability and often with chronic pain. What's more, people with disabilities frequently suffered from widespread discrimination, both active employment bias and passive or unconscious. Why? Why is this here? I mean, someone who wrote this buys into the unconscious bias shit. And no, they're not writing as if they're a person who buys into this shit. No, they bought into this shit. Today, assuming that this memberment victim is financially stable, loss of limb amounts to little more than a minor inconvenience. A century ago, employers would impose specific dress code, hairstyle regulation, and piercing and tattoo bans. Many even pressed their employees to maximize productivity. Often by, well, what do you want? This is a typo, and it's here. Such as through anti-pregnancy policies. At the time, however, deeper involvement with employees' bodies was simply impossible, legal or otherwise. But with the advent of cyberware, employers in the second half of the 21st century, we have imposed requirements for skin, bone, muscle, organ, and eye replacement in order to improve performance and workplace effectiveness. In extreme cases, security sector employees are commonly urged to undergo so-called full body conversions or full cyborgization. Much has changed over the past 25 years from when cybernetic implants first hit the mass market. Many in the field of history of technology have argued cyberware is a positive force for progress, and many have argued the opposite. This book attempts to describe and contextualize the changes, for better or worse, that it has introduced to our professional and personal lives. How has cyberware led us to where we are today, and where is it taking us next? Kick it over here. This thug. the scavenger. Fucking disgusting pieces of shit. I'm still not gonna kill you. We can get on the roof. Nice. Yes, yes, it's a hostile area. Oh. The green item.
Got the blueprint. Be there in a sec. Try to find a way to the lower levels.
Lower levels. Well, you got to start from the top because there's a guard on the catwalk.
I sit here all day. I see your ugly face more than my input. You know what I mean? You know, you could say something interesting once in a while. A joke.
Who sees me? The camera.
Pick up any woman.
Okay, it's gonna be a lot of sneaking so you
You know who
can
this
listen
is?
to
That's James Craig Anderson. You ever heard of him? No, you
the
haven't.
Gavin.
You know why?
Because you are being lied to.
I want to go a few steps back before I explain James Craig Anderson and why you don't know who he is. Now, I never said racism doesn't exist. I said racism isn't a thing. Spider bites exist. 6 people die a year from spider bites. Spider bites are not a thing. If you want to get through the weeds and really find examples of racism, I've got plenty. But you're going to find that the majority of racism in America is anti-white. You're also going to notice when you look at xenophobia, homophobia, sexism, anti-Semitism, you're going to find it tends to be coming mostly from non-whites. Sorry, that doesn't fit the narrative. The narrative in this country is blacks are being hunted for sport, and we have a serious racism problem. We're actually worse off than we were in the 50s, which is patently false. But, you know, if you want to find anti-Semitism, it's not Nazis, it's angry black dudes like Onyel G. Gilborn, who, this is last year, he just said, fucking kike, and he grabbed a giant rock, like about the size of 4 bricks, and just smashed it into the head of this old Orthodox Jew. All of the anti-Semitic attacks you see in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, are from bratty black kids. Sometimes they're anti-Semitic, sometimes they're just brats. Or if you want to see bona fide racism, we can talk about Nkosi Thandwe, who I think was trained by whites to hate whites. He said he learned to hate white people in college, and he said he was going to kill some cracker bitches, fucking white privileged assholes. Are there pictures of him in that? Gateway Pundit is kind of messy, isn't it? Ads and pictures not loading. Show that image 3844 of the Brittany, what was her name? He went out to kill, there it is. He said, I'm going to go kill white people because of white privilege. He shot 3 girls, one of them was Hispanic, and he killed Brittany Watts. That's racism. Or you want to talk about black people being murdered. 20 black people are murdered a day in gang warfare. Not a peep from Black Lives Matter, from the media. That doesn't fit this bullshit lie narrative. You are being lied to. James Craig Anderson, the guy that I started this video with, is the errant thread that unravels the whole sweater. But let's keep, before we start unraveling the sweater, let's have a look at the sweater first. Tyshawn Lee. Beautiful little 8-year-old kid. The execution-style shooting, I'll just read what happened. The execution-style shooting was an act of revenge. 2 gang members, Dwight Boone Doty and Corey Morgan, black man, believed that a rival faction had killed Morgan's 25-year-old brother and wounded his mother a month earlier. Angered, Morgan said that he was going to kill grandmas, kids, and all, according to court documents. So that brings us to this guy that everyone is talking about over the weekend. I think his name is Armed Robbery or something. Ahmed Arbery. He was casing a construction joint. He has a long criminal record. This construction site had reported robberies. He was stealing copper wire. Copper wire is what crackheads steal because it sells. It's easy to sell.
Oh.
And he's wearing Timberland boots, right? He's not wearing sneakers. Are those Timberland? They're some sort of boot. Oh no, sorry, that's a different time. But you recognize him and you recognize what he's wearing.
I'm getting reflexes.
That's from earlier footage. These guys see this black man running, and just show the boots. I think that's an important picture to see. These are not running shoes, okay? Look at the lip there. They're clunky boots. So these 2 guys, they're not really retired cops. Greg McMichael was an investigator for the DA, but they see him, and they get accused of vigilantism because they chased him down with guns. I don't see it as vigilantism. I see it as a logical thing to do. If someone's robbing me or my neighbor, I'm going to grab my gun and go chase him. You call the cops. What are the cops going to do? Fill out a form 20 minutes after he's gone? The cops are just guys who fill out paperwork. The cleanup guys. They're not superheroes. They're not time travelers. Ever seen the sign, I don't call 911 with a picture of a gun on it? Is that a vigilante sign? No, it's, I handle my own problems. So they chase him down. They say, stop. He grabs their gun. That ignites the trigger, goes off in his hand. These 2 go to court. The judge sees the story, says, forget about it. That's fine. Now, this video emerges. And this months later, and you can see him coming at the guy. By the way, this cameraman should be shot. That's the only justified murder here. Kill this fucking cat. What are you filming over there for, dude? So the gun goes off in his hand and then goes off again. He's fighting to get this gun because he's a crackhead criminal. I love how everyone's using his high school graduation photo where he's got a little bow tie. Why don't you use his mugshot? So they had the right guy. We showed him casing the joint. We showed his boots. He yanked the gun. And get this. The investigator recognizes him. He had been arrested before. In 2013, 19-year-old Ahmed Arbery, who was not a student at the school where the incident occurred, brought a loaded gun to a high school basketball game. And one of the suspects, now charged in his death, was involved in the subsequent investigation. So why so much attention? How come you've never heard of James Craig Anderson and everyone has heard of Ahmed Arbery? Look at the enthusiasm. Okay, first Sean King. Obviously he's going to be the first. He threatened to kill them, by the way, on Facebook. Said, I have your address, and if we don't get justice, then we're going to get our own justice. This is what happens in the court of public opinion. Rodney King drove through a neighborhood, endangered lives. The cops finally catch this car that he was with, I think, 4 other people. They go, get down on the ground, get down on the ground. Everyone gets down on the ground but Rodney King. He laughs in their face. They go, get down, get down. They shoot him with a taser. He laughs in their face. So they beat him into submission. And everyone just sees that last little part. And we have riots in the streets. The cop had already been exonerated when they saw the evidence. But because there was riots, they brought the cop back in, found him guilty, off to jail. That's how it works. A hashtag is the new justice system. And these guys, exonerated 2 months ago, the video you just saw came out. This narrative starts taking hold. I'm seething in anger that they're just like, let's go hunting Negroes. Hey, there's a guy jogging in his boots. 15 miles from his house. And it's not just Sean King. Joe Biden had to get on there and talk about how he was killed in cold blood. Kamala Harris saw this as a very important case that has to be televised. We need anger and rage and justice. Don't you want justice for the family? Adam Schiff, who's in big trouble now. He got caught framing Flynn. People calling him to resign. No, you don't want me to resign. I need to protect you. The family needs justice. Chuck Schumer gets in there. The families. This is sickening. You need me to protect you, blacks. You should get out there and vote DNC. Vote for the Democrats. We will save you. Redneck Republicans are hunting you. Trump thinks they're very good people. You see where I'm going with this? So, okay, I think I get what you're saying, Gavin. They exaggerate these cases and they frame the narrative because they want blacks to vote, right? Well then, why didn't I hear about James Craig Anderson? It was the most cut and dry case of a hate crime. Have you got that video? So, 10 kids are at a party, they're drinking, they're racist. This is one of the examples of anti-black racism. They say, let's go get some more beer, young kids, and they, quote-unquote, hate niggers. And you'll see this from black kids, too, towards whites. It could be a phase, whatever. It's not a pattern. Anyway, they go to this town, they beat up homeless people and hit them with slingshots and mock them and stuff. And they're drunk and in the mood. Then they see this guy, James Craig Anderson. Employed, great dude, family man, doesn't want any trouble, not drunk, not a bum. They beat the shit out of him, then they run over him and kill him. They confess to a hate crime, and they go to jail, go to prison. You know why you haven't heard about this case? You ready for this? Because Mississippi is always red.
Yeah.
Here's a giant elephant from Mississippi that sort of sums up the state. There's no way in Hades the Dems are ever going to get Mississippi. Therefore, those black lives don't matter. Blacks are pets to them, and they need them to get votes. If you're a black in Mississippi and you're the victim of a hate crime, it is officially irrelevant. Irrelevant to the media, to the DNC. LeBron James was saying, we can't even go for a jog anymore. Everyone is so easily manipulated. And it's because they're in swing states. The blacks, black lives in swing states matter more because they can help generate votes. Trayvon Martin was in Florida. And this took me a while. Jim Goat actually is the one who turned me on to this. I always thought, why do your heroes suck so bad? Freddie Gray and Eric Garner with his asthma saying this ends now, and Trayvon Martin attacking George Zimmerman, and I just thought, what about James Craig Anderson? There's real victims of actual hate crimes. It's not common. There's more hate on white. There's no black on white crime. There's more racism towards whites. But there are bona fide examples of white people being racist and murdering and hurting black people. Very rare, but it has happened. Why don't you focus on those? Swing states. Florida's a swing state. This guy, Audrey Arbery, is in Georgia. Georgia is a swing state. Stacey Abrams, who looks like she's in a Godzilla movie. She looks like one of the monsters. My 2 requirements, Abrams said Tuesday at Vanderbilt University in Nashville. 1, you have to tell me what you're going to do about voter suppression. And 2, you have to believe Georgia is a swing state.
We need to get to level -2.
You are being lied to. These people, these pundits, they don't give a shit about black lives or hate. It starts at the DNC, it's fed through the media pipeline, and then it goes out to all these celebrities and pundits and dumb assholes who are easily controlled. If the state is controlling your opinions, what is that? What does that mean? What does that tell you? It means you're living in a dictatorship.
No.
That's bona fide fascism. If hate has no home here, nor does fascism. So stop falling for this bullshit. You are being lied to.
You compromise. You're dead, you're dead, you're dead, you're dead and
Cancel this. activated.
Do you have any clue what we're baking?
Freezer? I won't kill you, but I can make your ass freeze to death. Implants, ready for shipping. Pressure lamp of circuits. Zipper gloves. Codeine iodine. Red phosphorus. It's like a shopping list or something. Two bodies. You'll get warm. Chemicals of the visible. We read that one. Jacket. I don't have a 1.55 anywhere. No. That's pretty. Credits. I mean Eddie's. Local network. Oh, they do have the surveillance system turned off. Okay, so that's why. So they turned it off.
Looks like snuffs are only the tip of the iceberg.
SKF hallucinogen experimental mixture. Get high at home. These days, when the police have so much more to worry about than whether the kids are smoking special cigarettes, when designer drugs can be bought on any corner, we say back to the basics. Why line producers and dealers' pockets when you can make your own concoctions in the comfort of your own garage? In the following chapters, we'll give you quick and easy to follow recipes for your favorite boosters. It's fun.
Smells like proper methionine. Must be cooking RPM here. RPM.
How does he know this? And the drug RPM, okay. What did I do? Exactly. What just happened? So getting a perk. Get a reflexes perk. Reload time. I can like always get one of these. Or just athletics. Max health 10%.
Need to get in the hallway past this room.
Okay.
What about them?
You can always just get rid of them my way.
Your call. You gotta make it now.
How do you switch targets? There was a way to switch targets.
That piece of junk? We wouldn't get past the first intersection before they dragged us out and splattered our brains on the pavement. Any other genius ideas?
Huh? Eat it, assholes. Looks like you got 'em all. Now delta to the hallway.
Wait. Let's not rush. Let's check this place out. Here we can hide the bodies. Okay, that was fucking close. How did he not see us?
Back in the samurai days, we'd place ads in this thing looking for background dancers.
Looks like you weren't the only ones with bright ideas.
It was a veritable gold mine of women.
A wicked acid trip, but not the kind you think. Ever wonder what it feels like to fall in a pool of acid? You'll finally have your chance. Before I ever even got my copy of Kings of Acid, my curiosity had already nosedived after I found out it wasn't about that type of acid. And honestly, body horror has such a rich tradition, it's a damn near Herculean task to find a fresh angle to take on it. But holy shit, did the devs do it. You play as Arthur Kerr, a klutzy and somewhat awkward rocker boy who gets himself tangled up in a shitstorm with Maelstrom. The Borg goons entrust Kerr with handling a mysterious shipment containing a protozoa capable of instantaneous regeneration, but in an unlucky twist, a painful common occurrence for our rival gang ambushes the exchange at a corp science lab and Kerr is pushed into a vat of mutagenic acid. That's when the trip kicks in, if you will. The rocker boy begins undergoing constant mutations. Eyeballs on stalks, shifting skin, throat, tentacles. That's not even the real freaky stuff. After every victory in combat, Arthur absorbs the genetic code from the blood splatter of his foes, making the already delightful hack-and-slash combat even more gratifying. The constantly growing spiral of possible mutations make for a rewarding way to spend experience, points, and build and strong replayability. All in all, Kerr's ultimate motivation is seeking bloody revenge against his music producer, who cost him a lucrative album deal and brutally murdered the rocker boy's boyfriend. Story and gameplay are geniusly intertwined, and the pseudo-brain dance influence shipped with each game copy really helps immerse players in the utterly fucked mutations, where searing pain turns to power-jacked ecstasy. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on this one. Pizza. Fire grenade. Why is it showing me? That's probably one of the bugs. It's showing me cold blood, stealth, body, increases melee damage by 10%. Street brawler. Damage from combo attacks. 5% health. Let's try. Okay, let's try Street Brawler. What's up here? Stairs. Oh, I was supposed to check my inventory. No, no, no. Nope. Oh, that's slightly better. What's my character stats? Oh. It's off. Huh. Moth again. We're supposed to go down. Oh.
that junk costs?
I just stopped the phone call and it's fine. Okay. Okay. So I have this sniper rifle and this sniper rifle. So this one somehow is better than this one, but it requires level 20. This one is pretty good. I'll try to use this one. Ooh, penetrator mod. Because a good chance. Because what at least I get is scoping out people. Probably not. I'm probably still better with like close combat shit. Different documents. Oh god, that was a huge jackpot. I basically made out all the money I used in this quest, which is great. You're going in the freezer. What? Wait a minute, there's a tarot card here. Where? Where's the tarot card? Is it even here, or is it like a lower level? I should be standing right on it. But it doesn't, it would have shown me that it's somewhere below this level, or... Where is it? Come on. Should be somewhere around here. Damn it. It is here. I'm moving away from it. It's here. showing me go up. Take about 9. How about this terminal? Can I use it to open the door? Okay, we'll find it later. Up, up, up. It's showing me go up. It's like it's here, but it's somewhere up. Okay. Beyond the border of empathy. Last night on TV I saw the following scene. A military squad in some debris-ridden corner of the Middle East fighting for the enemy, terrorists, political opponents. Shit, maybe they were just actors. It doesn't matter. It never really mattered in the first place. One of them was wearing recording equipment, scrolling a brain dance. I can count on finding that fresh BD in any shop within days. Turn it on and bam. We're in a war zone. You feel what they feel. You taste the blood in your mouth and the reassuring grip of the scroller's rifle. But that's not the worst of it. The worst is how the editor will be sure to try to show off the rifle, get a good shot of the manufacturer's name. Another split second and you'll be ready to buy the same exact one. Even order it with the same dents and scratches. Free home delivery. Only 20 or 30 years ago we were asking ourselves when will we cross the border at which empathy becomes irrelevant. Now standing in the shelled out ruins of a home with a rifle in our hands, it's hard to believe that the border ever existed. Well, fuse box. Ping. Oh, there's a guy. There's a guy here. Wow, there's so much money here. Oh, we are back here. Oh
Live ones there. I'll distract him. You take him down.
Wait.
Screw with those pipes. Get some smoke going. Show's about to start. Find cover. The hell? Now! Take him out!
No.
Now! Take him out! Look at us now. Still standing. Look at us now. Still standing.
Same with the other guy. Night City Gangs. Hi there, it's your friendly neighborhood K9, Sergeant Dobbs. This useful little guide you're holding contains essential information on Night City's largest gangs, where you'll learn which districts to avoid, how to recognize gang members, how to avoid dangerous situations. Okay. Animals. The animals aren't real animals, they're freaks of nature. Pumped to the gills with strength-enhancing hormones, they look more like piles of meat than people. They generally avoid cyberware with the exception of cosmetic modification that supposedly make them look more, well, animals. They're extremely aggressive and don't need an excuse to start a brawl, but despite their name, the animals are not a territorial gang. You can find fierce hostile packs of them throughout the city. 6th Street Gang. From a distance, they could be easily mistaken for soldiers on leave. Military uniforms, combat boots, buzz cuts, shouting "Ora" every chance they get, but don't let appearances fool you. These are violent, dangerous thugs, ready to slit your throat without the slightest hesitation. You'll want to watch out for them, especially in Vista del Rey. The Mocks. Handsome girls, beautiful guys, but wait, it's a trap. Oh my god. A trap joke. No. No, a trap joke in a transsexual laden game. No. If it was just Admiral Akbar, it would be bad, but it's fucking awful. They'll reel you in with their charm, and then when you're least expecting it, bam, your eddies are gone, or worse. The hole in the wall that passes for their headquarters is called Lizzie's Bar, best seen from far away and never entered. Maelstrom. If you ever find yourself in Watson's industrial area, and it's better that you don't, watch out for the sinister faceplates. That's Maelstrom. To be part of the gang, you have to get your eyes and nose cut off and replaced with demonic, fiery red optics. Ouch. If they do not do that to themselves, who knows what they'll do to strangers. Better to leave that mystery unsolved. Tiger Claws. Effervescent neon tattoos with Asian motifs, katanas and shurikens, racing bikes, These are some of the trademarks of Tiger Claw's gang, with a noticeable presence in Japantown. Ignore them and they shouldn't bother you, but do something to provoke them and it's sayonara, baby. Valentinos. Golden grills, golden implants, golden crosses, and golden machetes. I say Ihola to the Valentinos. Say Ihola. Despite the Catholic symbolism, they're not exactly love thy neighbor types. Those who get it in their way usually get chopped up to pieces and tossed into the El Coronado. Voodoo Boys. These predominantly Haitian gangsters are based in Pacifica, but they hunt their victims elsewhere. The net. The Voodoo Boys are the most skilled net runners in Night City underworld. Beware, that doesn't mean they're not dangerous in real space too. Be sure to give them a wide berth, or you might just end up like one of their black roosters without a head. Oh, okay. Okay. We're going which way?
Covers. Classic. Can't go wrong.
Except these are solid steel, not soft core plastic. You know, you come here on your own, running to become a star. There's no guarantee you're ever getting out.
That's a maintenance room. See what I can stir up.
Don't stir up anything. Twat, you don't know what you're doing. Oh, baby boy is up. I'll be back. Jesus, what is this? Organs. Messages. You girl. So is that girl that the fingers gave us going to be useful for anything? That chick is a bad omen. That's all I'll say. We should get rid of her ASAP and forget scrolling any BDs with her. Because if word about her spreads, we're fucked. What armor are you talking about? Next thing I'll find you staring into crystal balls. What are you? My reincarnated babushka? I don't believe you're shitting your pants just because of some comatose girl. What are you on, huh? You know what? Don't answer that. Whatever it is, just stop talking about it before your brain damage get even worse. Cause like, you can tell she's not from Jig Jig. More like Clouds or even the Mox. And for the record, I don't touch our supply, and you know that. But there's this corpo. I sold him some of our shit. Apparently, it made him aggressive. Smacked some joy toy across the face. He told me when it happened, he noticed the shadow of Lizzie on the wall, the girl who started the Mox. And guess what happened? A week later, he was dead. They found him in some back alley, tied to a gutter, suffocated with a stocking. It's not like I was chums with the guy, but still, that's no way to go. Who cares how you go if you're dead? Decapitated with a nail, father, or shot in the spleen. It makes not one iota of difference. It's not the RPM when it's the BDs that are fucking with your head, because your imagination is starting to get more whack than what you're scrolling. So you don't care how you remembered? What if you die on toilet, huh? You fucking go and get back to work. Don't you understand nobody care about you? Whose fucking memory will you be in? You would barely fill up any space on my deck. You and your fucking omens. Okay. We've read that one before. What is here? Okay, that might be leading back upstairs. Oh, okay, it is leading back. Oh shit.
Gutted out all our implants. And why stop there? Took a few internal organs
BD 1C BD. So, do we have to go through here, or is there another door? What if I turn on the camera? All the owners of the place, real owners, show up. Okay.
Or I could just crack your skull. Shut it down. Who put sand in your desk? No one.
How do we do this? Okay, this guy is... No, because recording optics only works on one guy, technically one guy at a time. Okay, they've split up. Now that's much better. Oh no. I thought maybe I could make it to the bin, but maybe I didn't think this through enough. Oh, because that's not a bin. Go away. Fuck!
We find you
Okay, okay. This is just a. Okay, so you have to be ducking? Okay, here's the server room. Forced detonation. Huh. Maybe after I find her. What? Come on. Here.
Where are you? Close to the studio, I think. You find anything useful?
Freed up the elevator. Should be easier to get out of here. You really don't fuck around, do you? Wait 1 sec for me.
Just in case. Ooh. Love that money.
Alright, I'm here. Let's find her. Hang in there.
This might be important. How'd you find me? How do you think? I cut through the firewall like a hot knife through butter. Outdated Colgate's prehistoric system architecture. Your firmware's got more holes than your gangbang joy toy. Get to the point. I think NetWatch found my BBS. What? BBS, a place where netrunners can exchange info without fear of being watched, like a hacker club. Get it? Okay, but what do I have to do with it? Your agency has access to one of them. If you could sniff them out, check if I'll give you the codes. No, I can't. Please, if they find us, they won't bother with arresting and interrogating. Do you understand? I'm sorry, I already told you. We're through. If you want help, ask Max. Maybe apart from his supposedly huge dick, he's got some useful contacts. Jesus, just bodies lying like that. There's more guys right there, and fuck. Does not belong to Evelyn Parker. Jesus Christ. So they burn Evelyn's head. The Netrunner burns Evelyn's head and she ends up... Why am I even saving her? She might not even be able to help us.
Junkyard if I'm lucky. Should have seen the mess inside. As if two people fucked and then threw up in. Oh man. What now?
Shit. Okay. Fuck.
If she's recording, you'll scramble her brain. Wait until I cut.
Uh-oh. I skipped a few bits.
I'll break the link at my end at the same time.
Alright, let's do this.
Oh my god.
Wait for my signal. Here goes. Ready? And...
Now!
Shit, I killed her.
Thank God. Evelyn, you hear me?
Hey, Evelyn. I need you to tell me who hired you.
Seriously, V. You gotta do this now?
What's wrong with her?
Honestly, I don't know. She's gotta be seriously traumatized.
Let's get her somewhere safe.
Fast, too.
Which way?
I sealed the doors and managed to power the elevators.
Elevators it is, then.
I knew I saw some useful shit here. Uh-oh.
Come on, is it really that hard? Please, just one. For me?
Smoking's for posers, and it stinks, too.
Say whatever the fuck you want, but just light up.
No.
Non-smokers are the fucking worst. Just my luck. We going in?
What's there to wait for? Didn't go through hell and back just to stand in front of a door.
Sure, sure.
She's sleeping. At least I think she is. Her eyes are closed and she's not shaking anymore. I would have already killed her by now if I didn't feel so bad for her.
How's she feeling?
Use your imagination. That place sucked every last drop of humanity from her. It's not enough. She already gave up everything she had. I just kept taking more and more. She's in some kind of trance, like she's folded into herself. No reaction to her surroundings whatsoever. I really didn't want to poke around in her head. I did it for you. I just want you to know that.
Mad at her? Why?
When you asked me to scour her behavioral shit, I was just about done dealing with it.
Judy, I didn't have
I
any...
know. It's okay.
So I don't get why...
We'll find out in a sec. I'll show you the virtue I found.
How many BDs did you manage to rip?
2. Only one of them's intact. Understandable, though. The rest... well, they're in the same shape as Evelyn.
Guessing you saw them already.
Yeah, had to wrestle to make sense of the whole thing. But I don't want to say anything and taint your perspective. You should go in with fresh eyes.
Okay, show me.
Give me a sec while I set the parameters.
Guess we'll find out if our doll really did lose her tune. Come on, V. first to admit, this does not look good.
I think immune response to ecological effects, implant or dependence. I think we read that one.
Well now, look at you.
Hey, how you feeling? Need anything? I'm not here to nag. Just talk.
Pain errors and mortality rates. The implant, widely known as pain editor, cyberware that reduces or even entirely eliminates pain. It has enjoyed unwavering popularity for years among certain circumstances, most devoted and arguably most valuable. I think we read that one too. Yeah, we did. Oh. What? What was that? There was something to pick up. Oh, there we go.
Alright, roll it.
Data with in pretty rough shape. Not all that editable.
Glad you managed to salvage them in the first place.
Needs a second to load. Quality's lousy, but I did what I could. What am I looking at? Every single piece of tech I see? Security?
We need a layout of the whole room. We will get everything else we need from the virtue.
What about his messages?
Only if you can do it in parfait body. It's most important that he suspect nothing. Try to be your usual relaxed.
And if he starts talking about the biochip himself, should I...
Biochip? Where you hear this? That is not of interest to me. You spin the virtue, you come back here, we give you the eddies. That is your one job. The rest is none of your concern.
Voodoo boys. Okay.
What am I looking at for?
Why a living you.
Take a look around if you want.
So.
Can't see your face.
Under normal circumstances, that kind of encryption's easy to crack. But not this time. Whoever she is, she's got serious net running skills.
That or someone's working it for her.
Every single piece of tech I see, security, we need a layout of the whole room. We will get everything else we need from the virtue.
Oh, she's got the implant that makes her face. That showed.
What about his messages? Only if you can do it in parfait body.
talking about the bot.
Might not be important.
Maybe. All of them are from Pacifica. Narrows down our search at least.
And check.
And if he starts talking about the biochip himself? Biochip? Should I...
Where you hear this? That is not of interest. You spin the virtue, you come back here. We give you the eddies. That is your one job. The rest is none of your concern. Understand?
Let's try. Let's find.
What am I looking at? What am I looking at? What am I looking out for?
I think I recognize these.
What are they?
These markings.
You familiar with them?
Not enough to know what they actually mean. Heard of who might use it, though.
Who?
Could be the Voodoo Boys, but that's just a hunch. Can't be 100% sure.
The spine team and Netrunner crew? Hard to find because they don't want to be. I don't even know where to start. What now?
Looks like I'm going on a field trip to Pacifica. All right, think we got everything.
What do you think?
Now we know what happened to Cloud. They're the ones who tried to flatline her. Launched a nuke at her chip.
So it was punishment? For getting played by her?
She knew more than they thought she knew. Couldn't let that go.
So that's who she was running from.
The woman who hired Evelyn. Any idea who we're up against?
Your guess is as good as mine. Sorry, V.
Looks like Evelyn never told us the whole truth.
You're telling me. If I'd known what she'd gotten herself into, I'm so mad at her.
Her only job was to record a virtue. It's pretty damn amazing she managed to organize a full-blown heist. And swipe the biochip from under her boss's noses.
So that's where you came in. She hired you. And brought this all on herself. On you too. There's one more recording. Wanna see it?
Sure, why not? Nothing can surprise me at this point.
Oui, allez. J'ai raison, vous êtes tout intelligent pour ça. C'était bien. On ne veut pas enrager. En plus, c'est le plus bon moyen nous gagner pour nous arriver sur le moment. Faut que nous prenions chance là. Vous gagnez plus bon l'idée? Très bien. Si vous décidez si c'est bon critiquer ça en France, à continuer à faire travail.
What language is she speaking?
I don't know. Haitian Creole? It is the Voodoo Boys.
Didn't I? Wait, let me see if I've got an auto translator. Meantime, you try to tune into the phone's frequency. See what the other side's saying.
Yorinobu.
Probably why Evelyn buried this recording deep. Caught another name. Something like Silverhand?
We have to know what they're saying. Could be important.
Fine. Just found the auto translate package. Should get along fine with your system. I'll install it now.
Oui, oui, allez. T'as bien raison, moi, c'est tout intelligent pour ça.
Too smart for her own good. I was once told that this is impossible, that you can't be too smart for your own good. But yeah, this was said by someone who's a virulent, sciencey, atheist, lefty person. And that person has never touched the street, ever. And they don't know that muscles always trump intelligence. Always. So you can't be too smart for your own good.
Oui, oui, allez. T'as bien raison, moi, c'est tout intelligent pour ça, pour tes bien. Manger pas en rate. Manger. Non plus. C'est le plus bon moyen nous gagner pour nous vivre sur yon nous. Faut que nous conscience là. Oui, oui, allez. Oui, oui, allez. T'as bien raison, moi, c'est tout intelligent pour ça. Manger pas enragé. Non plus. C'est le plus. Non plus. C'est le plus bon moyen nous gagner pour nous vivre sur yon nous. Faut que nous conscience là. Vous gagnez plus bon l'idée? Très bien. Si vous décidez si c'est pour critiquer ça me pense, à continuer à faire le travail.
Okay, Judy, we're good.
Alright, we've connected.
I don't get it. What's this have to do with Johnny Silverhand? He died, like, forever ago. V, you got any idea?
The biochip we stole. It's got Silverhand's engram burned onto it.
Engram?
Digitized psyche. Personality construct. You give me a minute. I need to go over some stuff in my head.
Of course.
Know who they are, who the woman is. Any idea how we find them?
Fuck, V. I've been dead the last half-century. Sorry if I'm unable to hand you all the answers on a chrome fucking platter when you snap your fingers.
These people, what could they want from Alt?
How the hell should I know?
Got no notion whatsoever?
One way or another, everything is back to that net runner. Finding her is our biggest priority. If she knows as much as I think she knows about the chip, she can help us out.
Thought you said nothing could help us.
Nah, just find us that Juju wirehead, okay?
Wait, you got any idea how to get in touch with the Voodoo Boys?
Why? Worried they'll give Evelyn up to him?
No. I didn't trust you at first, but... Well, if you wanted to get back at Evelyn, you would have done it already.
So why the worried look?
I want it all to work out for you. You got a plan?
I'll ask around, make a few calls. Let me put it this way. The Voodoo Boys wouldn't trust a cat if it walked onto their turf. Someone's gotta know a way in.
Well, good luck. Hope you won't need it.
See you around, Judy.
Right.
Thanks, V.
Didn't know she dabbled in robotics.
Now that's fucking Shimra. Think that's how she winds down?
After a day's work of cleaning hardcore smut, wouldn't be surprised. Huh, interesting.
Place looks like a fucking antique museum.
Congratulations, you're proud enough of Thornton. We are proud to offer our Thornton guarantee for reliability and convenience at an affordable price. Before you embark on a new adventure behind the wheel of your new Thornton, please take time to read the owner's manual. Blah 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 blah. Engine variant tip.
Then I guess you should feel right at home.
Chick's got taste.
That all you have to say?
And she's nice. 6 out of 10.
The weathered man peered into the eyes of the young nomad. Okay, I've read that one before. What's that? Okay. Take notes. I forgot to change the notification in the pressure gauge. Add an automatic reset when starting up. Tracking module froze underwater again. Probably the waterproof case is blocking the signal. Fix. Make an opening for an antenna. Connection loss with the barometer. When set at bathymetric mode. Fix. Add an automatic signal to switch back to the last position before connection loss. Cool. Okay, I think we're gonna be finishing up for today. Leaving the apartment. Vamos. Raptão para Okay, we left. Oh, we leveled up. We're going for cool. And getting perks and body. Or athletics. Health, which is outside combat. Health. Become an enemy's body performing a takedown. Quick melee attacks with ranged weapons. Grapple them. So it pays to walk around with this perk. It pays to walk around with a gun. Health regime at 25%. Crouch attack from stealth with melee weapons. Deal 100% more damage. Poison. Cheat death. Case to temporarily boost movement speed by 50%. Double damage from poison. Silent finish your enemies with less than when attacked with a knife. very high threat. Okay. Cold blood. As you get cold blood stacks after defeating an enemy, gain cold blood for 10 seconds and increase movement speed by 2%. Okay. This is like non-stealth. Where am I? Here. Is there a Ripper Dark clothes? Buy? No. These two. Corpo, downtown, the Glen, Well Springs, Coast View, Bridge, North Oak, North Side, Rancho Coronado, Arroyo, Vista del Rey. And where's the... Okay, whatever. We're done for today. So wait. Stats. Clothing stores will have more items available. Huh. Okay. Craft. Upgrades. This thing? Ooh. This thing? Ooh. We can. Okay, insufficient components. Weapon glitch. Okay. Yeah, now we're really done. Thanks for watching.